Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the Bitcoin price is getting very close to breaking this pattern, while Ethereum is currently running into important support, which I'll talk about later in the video, so definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a quick update here on the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is still running into this significant range of resistance. But overall, the price of Bitcoin is still technically in this consolidation range that is within this larger bullish trend. Because if you're talking about the significant lows and highs here on the daily time frame, technically speaking, we have not yet invalidated this larger, higher low, higher high price structure, because for that we would need to see a break at least below this level, which is sitting at around 27,000. Once again, if we see a break below 27,000, then in that case we could potentially look towards a new bearish trend beginning on the daily time frame. And in that case, if we break 27,000 with confirmation, then I would expect a drop down towards at least this price range in between around 24K to 25K approximately. But once again, as of right now, that possible break below 27,000 has not yet happened. So at least for now, we are still looking very neutral on the daily time frame. Not overly bullish or overly bearish as of right now, because we still have very low momentum to either direction if you're looking at the price oscillators. So once again, as I've been saying almost every day over the last 1 to 2 weeks, I still continue to expect the price of Bitcoin to basically range sideways on the daily time frame. But obviously, if you're zooming into smaller time frames, this sideways range looks like larger bearish and bullish trends on the smaller time frames, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But first, giving you a quick update here on the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, because obviously right now the price of Bitcoin is still forming this horizontal triangle pattern, also known as a symmetrical triangle pattern, which doesn't necessarily have a bullish or bearish bias. Sometimes it can act as a continuation pattern, meaning in this case, because we were in an uptrend leading into this pattern, it's possible that there is a slight bias to the upside for this pattern, but really it's not that significant. So basically, we just need to wait and see an actual break either below this support level or above this resistance level with strong confirmation, such as at least some candle closes above resistance or below support, but ideally some sort of confirmed retest, either flipping previous resistance into new support or flipping this previous support into new resistance. And right now, this line of support is sitting at approximately 27.4K, and this line of resistance is sitting at around 29.3K. And as for the technical price target, if we see a confirmed break below this level of support, then in that case, that would set up a technical price target at around 24.1K, which would actually fall right into this price range, which was a previous resistance and should now be acting as new support. But on the flip side, if we actually see a confirmed break above this level of resistance, then in that case, that would set up a technical price target at around 33.4K approximately. But it is important to mention that right now, those technical price targets are not currently active, and this pattern, even though it is forming as of right now, it is not yet active, because of course we still need to see either a confirmed break below this support or above this resistance in order to become more confident in the next significant movement in the price of Bitcoin. And also, the longer the price of Bitcoin stays in this pattern, basically consolidating into a tighter and tighter range, the more significant or the more volatile that next movement will likely be once the price actually confirms a break either above this resistance or below this support. And believe it or not, whether the price breaks to the upside or to the downside, you can make money in either direction. And if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But anyway, now zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 4-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart. And obviously what we've seen over the last one day is a continued drop to the downside as expected. expected, because if you watched my last video on the channel that I posted yesterday, I said that right now in the imminent short term, we are looking more bearish than bullish, because we're simply seeing bearish signals like the RSI on the 4-hour time frame breaking to the downside, which essentially means the momentum or the trend, at least in the short term, is currently more bearish than bullish. And once again, as I said in my last video, if we broke back below this area of support, which the low end is sitting at around 28.7k, then in that case, we would likely see a drop down towards this area of support in between 27.5k to 27.8k. And obviously, that's pretty much exactly what has happened. So at least for now, this is the area of support that I'm currently watching in the short term. But if we see a break below 27.5k, then in that case, I would expect a drop down towards these lows at approximately 27.2k. And if we see a break below that level, then we would likely see a continued drop down towards this area of support, sitting in between around 26.6k to 26.8k. And once again, like I've been saying since all the way up here, we are still looking slightly more bearish than bullish in the shorter term due to these price oscillators breaking to the downside, like this RSI, for example. But speaking of the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI, it's important to point out that right now, the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is getting very close to oversold territories. And if you're looking at the last time where the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI reached into oversold territories, we weren't far off some sort of local bottom. And so technically speaking, right now, considering the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI isn't yet in oversold territories, we technically still have a little more room to the downside in the shorter term. But with that being said, if we start running further into some of these other levels of support, while the RSI also enters well into oversold territories, then just keep in mind that would be a signal telling us that we are due to see some sort of short-term bounce. But even in that case, even if we do see a bounce from oversold territories, just keep in mind that doesn't necessarily confirm a new uptrend, because for that we need to see more confirmation, such as higher lows and higher highs beginning to confirm in the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI, because of course that is a strong signal pointing towards strength in the shorter term, pointing towards more bullish price action. But for now, we are not currently seeing that, which is why I'm still currently leaning more bearish than bullish in the short term, as I've been saying over the last few days. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is still looking relatively neutral at the moment on the daily time frame, basically still in this sideways consolidation range that is currently occurring within this larger bullish trend. Because like I said, for Bitcoin on the daily time frame, we have not yet invalidated the larger trend. If you're looking at the larger higher lows and higher highs, which are still currently intact. But obviously, as of right now, if you're looking at the daily Ethereum RSI and MACD, these are both showing very low momentum. They are looking very neutral at the moment, which is why I continue to expect for at least a little while longer the price of ETH to continue in this sideways price range, basically chopping around sideways on the daily time frame. But remember, on smaller time frames, this choppy sideways price range looks like more significant bullish and bearish trends. Like for example, here on the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see these short-term bullish and bearish trends. And obviously right now, as of recording this video, and like I've said over the last 1 to 2 days, we are currently looking more bearish than bullish in terms of the short-term trend and momentum. And this was mainly due to the fact that the RSI broke to the downside below this ascending line of support, and also confirming lower lows and lower highs, which is technically a signal telling us that the price of ETH is looking quite weak in the shorter term, and once again, more bearish than bullish. But with that being said, even in more of a bearish trend, we can still see some short-term bounces here and there from these areas of support. And in fact, right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is running into and has recently just bounced from this area of support, which is sitting in between 1830 to 1850. But if we see a break below 1830, then in that case, we have this level of support sitting closer towards 1.8k. But if the price of ETH breaks back below 1.8k with confirmation, then in the short term, obviously that would not be a good thing. That would be obviously a bearish signal, and in that case I would expect a drop down towards this area of support in between 1.7k to around 1730. And as for resistance, in case we see more of a significant bounce from this area of support, we still have this area of resistance in between 1920 to 1950. And in order to confirm a new bullish trend reversal in the shorter term, I would like to see more bullish confirmation signals such as higher lows and higher highs beginning to form again in the RSI. Either that or some sort of bullish divergence confirming, or another bullish confirmation signal, which as of right now has not yet happened. So that's why I've been saying over the last 1 to 2 days, I'm still leaning more bearish than bullish just in the imminent short term here. But believe it or not, you can still make a lot of money in crypto even if the price is dropping. And if you want to know how to do that, then check out the video in the top left of your screen right now, because that video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is either bullish or bearish, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.